Stuart, your first game in the dugout for the reserves, what were your thoughts on that game there?
Yeah, I think it was a game by and large we dominated. We've obviously got a few first team guys out there, so it was important to get them game time. The manager's obviously trying to look at his squad and also getting that blend with some of the young guys that were in there as well. So yeah, I felt we dominated it. Probably should have been ahead with the penalty we got in the first half. Josh misses it unfortunately, but there was a wee spell in the second half where we felt we dropped off it. But overall, for the 90 minutes, I think it was a deserved win.
You've only been in here for a couple of weeks, in fact probably not even a couple of weeks. Do you think you're getting your kind of stamp on this team, trying to get your philosophy across?
That's difficult. It's difficult in a way that the young players especially have been well schooled, so obviously the manager's been a part of that, David Clarkson's been a part of it, Brian Kerr, so there's a lot of aspects that you look at and you try and change things, but it's not broken. So from my point of view, it's about trying to reaffirm some of the beliefs in how they play, some of the standards that are already there, and then I think you roll with it. Over the course of time you'll start to see aspects yourself that you maybe want to integrate your own stamp, but I just felt that even from day one you can see that there's good habits here in the young players. You can see that there's a respect and a good application for the first team players today, so there's not a great deal wrong.
You mentioned the manager there. Is there a lot of communication between yourself and him before these kind of games to see kind of what we want to try and do?
Yeah, again, I think it's so important that he obviously knows what he wants from the first team players. We don't get much time to work with them, so in terms of the minutes on the park, where he would like to see them playing, it's kind of the old fashioned, the way the reserves used to be. You get a look at somebody, you play a match during the week, and that should hopefully give you an opportunity to try and force your way into the first team. So yeah, he has a big hand in it, which for me is how it has to be. The communication's been great so far since I've come into the football club, and long may that continue.
In your opinion, are these reserve matches a good opportunity for some first team boys who are maybe on the fringes to get those minutes in the bag and keep them at sharpness?
I do, yeah, I do. I think it's not a punishment. It's important that the first team players know that it's not a punishment. Hopefully we can provide an environment that's as close to the first team as we can possibly get. The style of play, again, hopefully reflects on what the first team want. I think that's important. But again, it's all on the player themselves. I've seen it a few different ways where I've done this job at Ross County before, and I've seen situations where players don't apply themselves properly, and then you're not a good influence on the young guys. Whereas today, I have to say that every single one of them were right on it, and they put their shift in, but they also showed us their qualities as well.
And just finally, Stuart, you've obviously just arrived at the club. How have you settled in this new role thus far?
It's great, it's different from what I've been used to in the past, although I've been used to this specific role, but different doesn't make it bad. It's good. It's probably a case of me adjusting to certain aspects, getting to know everybody, getting to know the young players especially, and find out what their character is, because I think to develop players you have to understand the character, and we're doing that. And again, I need to mention David Clarkson. He's been first class. He's been with me since last Monday when I come in the door, and he shows you the ropes. He knows the football club inside out, as does the first team staff, and I think that having that stamp and identity on a football club is massive. And I look at the first team performances of late, they've been very good. I know you'll ask for maybe a few more points on the board and amongst that, but that sets a tone, and it has a real good feel about the place. So I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far, and looking forward to the coming weeks and months.
Thanks for your time, Stuart.
Thanks.